You're driving into a corner and one of two things happen. You run wide, understeer, or you turn too sharply, oversteer. It's one of those things that thwarts many sim racers. Poor car setup can play a huge role in how your car enters, runs through, and exits corners, ultimately affecting your lap times. This is understeer. How do we fix this? Well, one way to resolve this is to increase the rear ride height. You can see here how the car is able to manage the corner better just by making an adjustment to the rear ride height. This is my guide on how to adjust your car to get it to do just what you're asking it to do. And as you can see, there are several ways in every instance that adjustments can be made to resolve the performance issues in the turns. But what do all those adjustments actually do? The thing to remember is that everything you are doing is designed to balance the grip of the tires, both at the front and the rear, as well as side to side, to get the best performance out of the car. The adage, where the rubber meets the road, is quite literal here. Wings on a car are the same concept as wings on an airplane, but the concept is done in reverse. Instead of creating lift, they create downforce. It's critical to balance the front and rear downforce. Too much downforce in the rear and the car will understeer, while too much downforce in the front will cause the car to oversteer. Stiffness of the suspension also plays a role in car performance. If the stiffness in the rear is too tight, it's possible to oversteer the car, while too much in the front can cause understeer. The softer the suspension, the better the car will be at cornering, while stiffer suspension will be better for straight line speeds. A stiffer suspension in the rear also aids in the launch of the car, as a soft suspension will more easily squat, losing valuable response time at takeoff. Anti-roll bars, sometimes called sway bars or simply roll bars, adjust how the body of the car rolls from side to side. As a car rolls to one side, the tires on the outside of the roll increase their grip, while the tires on the inside of the roll decrease their grip. Reducing body roll helps to balance the grip a bit more from side to side by increasing stiffness. If you're oversteering in corners, you can either increase the front roll bars or decrease the rear roll bars. If you are understeering, you adjust the stiffness in the opposite manner. The concept of tire camber is to maximize the amount of tire on the road as you turn the car through corners. The higher the load on the tires, the more the tire will flex. If you have too much camber, the outside edges of the tires may not touch the road, causing less grip. And the same is true if the inside of your tires have too little camber. Camber also plays a role in correcting oversteer and understeer. Less grip at the back causes oversteer, while less grip at the front causes understeer. An added benefit to more camber on the front tires is the reduction of friction in a straight line, allowing higher top speeds. The more tire that is on the road, the more friction it creates. And friction is the enemy of straight line speeds. Toe angle affects how the car behaves in turns. Toe in or positive toe angle creates a more stable car but tends to add understeer, while toe out or negative toe angle creates a more responsive turn in as it generates oversteer. On rear-wheel drive cars, it is only recommended to use positive toe angle, as negative toe will make the car generally unstable. The exception to this rule is when you are driving a front-wheel drive car, which tends to have more understeer, and adding your toe out will help in adding oversteer. Brake bias adjusts the responsiveness of the brakes front to rear. Balancing both the front and the back will affect how the car turns into corners. Like every other setting, it's a balancing act to find the adjustments that work for you. Too much brake in the front entering a corner and you will most likely understeer, while too much at the rear can cause you to oversteer. Reducing ride height will aid in increasing a car's speed, but reduces cornering performance. Adjusting the front and rear ride heights to aid in the reduction of understeer and oversteer will keep you planted in the turns and increase your straight line speeds. In the end, the more unstable a car is, the faster it can be, but is more difficult to drive. Perfecting the balance of the car for your driving style will help you increase the performance of the car and your lap times, culminating in a faster race setup. Please feel free to ask any questions in the comments section, and happy racing! I really enjoyed making this video, and I hope it helps you to understand car setup more completely. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.